Lolly ho everyone! Final Fantasy XIV's new Ultimate Raid,
Has Luna
Dragonsong's
watched and
Reprise,
walked her
has been the
bridge?
focus
That's a
of the
thing.
top raiders in the world, as well
That
as
was actually
thousands of
kind of
viewers who
clean.
wanted
It
to share in
was.
the experience of this
Fair point.
incredibly
If
hard
only they
content
could
with
animate the
multiple
whole
phases.
game like that.
However, it
If
was not
only.
only the difficulty that brought people in, but also the alternate, non-canon Dragonsong War story the raid is based on. The answer to the question, what if we saved Orshfon?
I feel like we already
Dragonsong's
watched
Reprise
this.
starts on the bridge that all players who finished Heavensward are familiar with. The bridge where we lost Orshafon when he tried to protect us from the spear thrown by Sir Zephyrin. The events occur ever so embellished than we remember, of course, as this is the Wandering Minstrel's telling. You get to fight the bosses from the Vault dungeon, but nevertheless it ends the same way. Sir Zephyrin throws the spear, and Orshafon dies protecting us. At this point of the story during the MSQ, we defeat Bismarck, go to Azizla to catch Thordan, and while doing that, we also lose Giselle as she defends us from the Imperials. However, the ultimate takes us from the vault directly to the Singularity Reactor, where the fight against King Thordan and the Knights 12 takes place. And after that, you end up at the final steps of Faith where you face Nidhogg Estinian, defeat him, receive a buff from both Orshafon and Giselle's ghosts to overcome the ice, and by working with Alphinaud, you finally save Estinian from Nidhogg's grasp. Up to this point,
He's
everything
gonna pop in
happens
and
in the
say you
same
are
order,
beautiful, don't let
and the
anyone
story
tell you
ends the way we
otherwise. So
experienced it in the
this
first place.
is for all
But
you
then,
here. I
the
love you all.
minstrel's
Oh,
alternate
that's
story
really
begins.
cute.
One where our dear
Appreciate
comrades
it,
are spared
orangutan.
their tragic fate.
Why did I walk into this? Come here,
Upon being sent back to the bridge at the end of the vault as a new
Welcome
phase
in.
of the ultimate fight, the party needs to face the first bosses again.
The
However,
cartoony one?
this time
Eh?
around, when Orshafon comes to protect you from Sir Zephyr's spear, you have the chance to actually save
Thanks,
him by
Spite.
using
Yeah.
Tank Limit Break,
That was very
healing
sweet
him
of you.
and destroying the spear itself. And this is where everything begins to go horribly wrong. Now in a separate, alternate timeline, we again go after Thordan to stop him. But due to the fact that we do not experience the loss of our dear comrade that essentially spurred us into immediate action, this time we do not set out as fast as we originally did, which gives Thordan enough time to actually enact his plan. Upon going to Azizla, Thordan
You still
absorbs
miss
the
him?
ether of the
Same.
Warring Triad, presumably
Same.
before we
Thank you
even
for
get
shout
to
out. No
set foot in the
problem. Thanks for
facility.
stopping by.
And by using both his immense ether pool and the Eye of Nidhogg, he begins to temper the dragons, which takes us to the next phase of the ultimate fight. This phase takes place at Tharl Om Kash, the northern corner of the Churning Mists, where Thordan appears with the tempered Widofnir, Vedrfolnir,
Yeah,
and Darkscale,
We
who
did
also
watch this
attack you
video. I
along with the
remember
Knights
this.
12.
Yeah.
However, the end to this part is quite different, as Thordan, upon being beaten almost to death, begs for his life. And the Warrior of Light, ever being the compassionate person, has the option to spare him, which Thordan actually immediately makes fun of before running away and leaving his sword Ascalon behind. Upon sparing Thordan, the fight takes you
I
back
find
to
it
the
dumb
final
that you
steps
actually
of
have to
Faith, where you
spare
face
him to
Nidhogg,
proceed.
But this time,
Like, bruh.
he's not alone. By using the Neuralink technology, Nidhogg binds Hreswalgar and makes him fight against us. Now, this is extremely depressive for Hreswalgar because of his promise to his beloved Shiva, which is to never kill a mortal. This is actually part of the gameplay as well, because if he manages to kill you during the ultimate fight, he goes into a sort of rage for breaking his oath,
Where meets
where it
him
becomes
stops
impossible
Yeah,
to overcome him,
I
and the
watched
party
that.
eventually wipes. Moreover, both Orshafon and Giselle, now alive in this alternate timeline, are on the bridge as well, fighting Nidhogg's minions that try to attack Ishgard. After defeating both of the first brood, however, yet another thing goes wrong. You see, Estinian still has Nidhogg's eyes, and Alphinaud desperately tries to save him, but because neither Orshafon nor Giselle is dead, there is no one to give us the final push to do so. At this moment, Thordan shows up and absorbs not only the eyes of Nidhogg, but also the eyes of Hreswalgar as well, becoming the Dragon King in the process. As if this is not bad enough, he also hits the entire bridge where the fight has taken place with a very heavy attack, which is assumed to effectively kill Orchifon and Izel, as well as presumably Estinine and Alphino. Although, take this part with a grain of salt, as there is no way to confirm this during the fight, and both of them seem to disappear right before the hit. But I personally highly doubt that they managed to escape the blast in time. The fight eventually takes you to the Shattered Remembrance in Sorkai, where you face Thordan, now the Dragon King, one last time. And after a brutal battle,
I really want
Thordan
to do
is
this
finally
fight, but it's
defeated,
such a big
and
time
both
commitment.
Nidhogg and Hirazwagar's souls set free.
It's understandable.
Then we
Instead
hear
of
the
emptying
final
the
words
spreadsheet, why
of
not
the
paste the
minstrel.
ones you watched to a second
So
spreadsheet
ends an
tab,
alternate
so
chapter in their
people can see
tale.
what you've
What
already
lessons,
seen.
dear listener,
Lots can
might
also
we
go
derive
over it
from
to
this
help you
dragon
out.
song reimagined? Be it
Is
that
someone
of
clearing
man
it
or
out?
dragon, all life is precious, and the loss of loved ones shall ever darken the hearts of those
Control
left behind.
units lying around
Yet,
in one of the
that
dragons
is not the
relate
end
to
of what was
the
wrought.
Woods
The
dungeon.
memories forged, the affection shared, the hope inherited. Such things grant us the strength to walk on to the morrow, and there is no greater proof of this than the Warrior of Light's journey. And so we come to the end of this alternate story, where we learn what would have happened if we saved a dear friend from his tragic end, which, as told in this reimagining, might have had catastrophic effects. Not only for the Dragonsong War, but also for the rest of the story as well. It actually leaves us with more questions
The
than
fights
answers.
is fun.
What would Ilbert have done if he didn't have Nidhogg's eyes to summon Shinryu? Even if he did manage to summon Shinryu, would he have the means to make it that powerful? Would Papalimo need to sacrifice himself to bind the Primal? Or would Omega even be activated to fight it? Would the Warrior of Light still set out to free Alamigo and Doma? What if we never met Xenos? What if Varys eventually used the Black Rose? What would it have cost us if we managed to save one life? I would love to hear your theories on this, so let me know in the
Yeah, I remember watching that video and I was like, ah, hella distraught.